Recording now. And I'm sharing my screen. And let me mark you guys as here. Brianna, Destiny, Brock. Oh, Brianna, thank you. Brock. Okay, you guys are trickling in. Bianca, Jessica Graff Townsend, Hassan, Ricky, Jessica Houston, Azar, he's not here, right? Halamo, Marco, Hayden, Wahab, Jeremy, William, Raphael, and Austin. Okay, so we are going to look at chapter 6's vocabulary, which is on pages 182 and 183, the first half, and then 196 to 197, the second half. We'll start with the first half. So I'm going to let you hear the audio, and then we'll talk about it after we've listened.
Buen provecho. El Café del Mar es un restaurante popular en Viña del Mar, Chile.
Mesero, la cuenta, por favor. Sí, señor.
Oye, Manolo, ¿cuánto dejamos de propina?
¿Qué te apetece, querida?
A ver, un bistec, una ensalada, el pastel de limón y un vino tinto.
No me gustan los mariscos.
Pero Matilde, son la especialidad de la casa.
Okay, so at the top it says las comidas y las bebidas. What do you think we're talking about? Well, where are they? In a restaurant. So when you're in a restaurant, you're going there specifically to get what? Huh? Food and drinks, right? Comidas y bebidas. So comidas es la comida, es la pizza, la hamburguesa, el bistec. Y las bebidas son el Sprite, Coca-Cola, agua, etc. Okay? So then he starts off by saying, and let me see if I can make it a little bigger. He starts off by saying, buen provecho. We usually say this in French. Over here, we say bon appetit. What is buen provecho? It's like enjoy your meal. Like what we say when we say bon appetit, right? We want you to have like good eating, right? El Café del Mar es el restaurante donde están. Es un restaurante popular en Viña del Mar, Chile. So, ¿qué es un restaurante? You already told me that we're where? In a restaurant. So esto es un restaurante, spelled almost the same as it is in English. First, we have Manolo and Jorge. Manolo lleva la camisa roja y Jorge lleva la camisa blanca, or camiseta roja, camiseta blanca. Manolo says, mesero, la cuenta, por favor. This is el mesero. Who's he? The waiter. So he says, la cuenta, por favor. Ya terminaron, right? Like it looks like their plates are kind of empty, their glasses are empty, so they're done. They're asking for the what? La cuenta. What do they need? They want to leave, they need the what? Well, it's the bill. Yeah, the receipt is after you've already paid, so they need the bill. La cuenta, por favor. Mesero dice, sí, señor. Then Jorge says, oye, Manolo, ¿cuánto dejamos de propina? So like when you go out to eat and after you're getting ready to pay for your meal, if you've gone to a restaurant where it's sit down and you have a waiter, what do you have to figure out? The tip. That's your propina. So he's saying, ¿cuánto dejamos de propina? How much do we leave for the tip? Then we have Elías, que lleva la camisa de color rosa, y Esme, que lleva el vestido rojo. Elías says, ¿qué apetece, querida? So when you sit down, like you can see they're holding up the menus. They haven't ordered yet. When you go to a new place, you're out with your friends, a lot of time you ask them what? If you're at a new place, you've never been there before, what do you usually end up asking your friends? Yeah, what are you getting? That's what they're saying. Like, what appeals to you? ¿Qué te apetece? It's sort of like, what are you getting? What appeals to you? And Esme says, a ver, un bistec, una ensalada, el pastel de limón, un vino tinto. So she's listing all the things she's going to get. And then we move on to Matilde y Graciela. Están aquí. Matilde es la niña y Graciela es la pelirroja. Matilde, la niña, dice, no me gustan los mariscos. And the mom says, pero Matilde, son la especialidad de la casa. We're in el café del mar. Mar es lo mismo que el océano. Okay, el océano es el Atlántico, el Pacífico, el Indiano. Or what are these guys? What is océano? The ocean. So if you're at like an ocean cafe, they're probably selling what kind of food? Seafood. That's what mariscos are. It's got mar in there. So son mariscos. She says, no me gustan los mariscos. She doesn't what? She doesn't like them, but her mom's like, son la especialidad de la casa. If this is a seafood restaurant, then seafood is the what? Yeah, it's the specialty of the house specialty. So she's like, what are you doing here? It's like my kids, like we're Catholic, so we're going to have to be eating a lot of fish soon. And my youngest one doesn't want to eat it. So it's kind of like, we're at a seafood place. Like, what are you supposed to eat? Anyway, moving right along. Oops. Huh. Maybe I was doing some. All right, hold on. I'm just trying to make this stuff a little bit bigger for you. So you're going to read the dialogue again and then decide whether the statements over here on the right, decide if they are true or false based upon the dialogue. Okay, so take a few minutes and decide whether or not those statements are true or false. Yeah. I'm not sure if we're just reviewing this again, but I think we don't. Chapter 6? I don't think we did this.
I think we didn't really get to the part where we were talking about food itself, but we did. I remember reading it.
Okay.
We just asked.
Oh, shoot. Okay, so it says Manolo le pide la cuenta. Hold on 1 minute. Manolo le pide la cuenta al mesero. ¿Es cierto o falso? Es cierto. El número 2, Jorge no sabe cuánto deben dejar de propina. ¿Es cierto o falso? Es cierto. And Esme pida pastel de manzana. Falso. What does she end up asking for? Not pastel de manzana, but pastel de limón. Okay, so check your answers. And then we're going to do one more. Oops. Okay, so then we're going to do this one, practicing with the vocabulary again. So this time it says comprendes, indica, who indicate who is described. Read the statements below. Detesta los mariscos, pide la cuenta, pide mucha comida, trae la cuenta, and then write the name of the person that's being described, and we'll check it, and then we're going to move on and look at the rest of the vocab. You know what I think it is? I don't think that we went over it, but it was your homework from last class. That's why I was trying to pick it up. And if we did, we maybe went over like a little. I don't remember doing it at all, but if we did, we only did like a little bit because I think I opted to do the comparisons and the present progressive. So I was trying to go back and pick up the vocab here since we don't have anything on. You just have like a review. You guys don't have like one of those assignments this week. Because you should have looked at it. I just haven't gone over it with you guys, but you did have videos you were supposed to watch last week on it. Okay, so, all right, so going back to this, ¿Quién detesta los mariscos? ¿Es el mesero, Esme, Matilde o Manolo? Matilde. ¿Quién pide la cuenta? Manolo. ¿And quién pide mucha comida? Esme. ¿And quién trae la cuenta? El mesero. Muy bien. Okay, so check your answers. It should be Matilde, Manolo, Esme, el mesero. Okay, then going here, so let's go ahead and talk about the food. So we have las comidas, or the food. Here we have como un sándwich a las 12 de la tarde cada día para almuerzo. So if I'm eating a sandwich at 12 every day, what is that? What's happening then? It's lunch, al almuerzo. Me gusta comer bistec, tacos, o pizza de cena a las 6 de la tarde. So if I'm eating like pizza and steak, tacos, and this is around 6 in the afternoon, I'm eating them for dinner, cena. And como cereal de desayuno cada mañana. What is desayuno? Breakfast. Mis hijos comen galletas y toman jugo de merienda cada día a las 2 de la tarde. What would, and that's not even true anymore, but what would be, if you're doing something at 2 in the afternoon around here and you're eating like crackers and drinking juice, that might be a what? snack. So merienda, snack, desayuno, breakfast, cena, dinner, almuerzo, lunch. I am going to, oh, you know what? It's probably not going to let me. I'm going to try. Oh, it did let me. Actually. Oh, okay. Right, just so I can make them a little bit bigger. No, it's not going to let me. All right, I'm going to try to take it from here, just so I can get the image of the proteínas and carnes a little bit bigger for you guys to see. Slow. Slow, slow. Okay. Okay, that's a little bigger, right? So we have proteínas y carnes. What are proteínas? They look kind of like they do in English. That would be what? Protein. And then carne would be like beefsteak. I don't see any other examples up there. What is beefsteak? Or en hamburguesas tienes carne también. En espaguetes es carne también. Carne is what? Or just meat. So we have proteins and meats. We have el bistec, which would be what? Steak. Then we have a bocadillo or un sandwich, which is what? Sandwich. Then we have camarones, shrimp, huevo, egg, jamón, ham, mariscos. We already talked all of it. Yeah, so it's all what? Seafood. All right, hold on. I want to take this. Oops. Okay, so keeping with our proteínas y carne. Whoops. Hold on 1 minute. Okay, so I didn't realize I'd had a better picture up there, but this is your carne. Carne is what again? Meat. Pescado would be fish, pollo, chicken, queso, cheese, and sopa, soup. And I want to Okay. Then we have this little guy. This guy and this. Okay, so keeping with our meat and protein, we have el pavo, which would be what? Turkey. Then we have frutas y verduras. Frutas would be like banana, and verduras would be cebolla. What are frutas y verduras? Fruits and vegetables. I do not know why this one got put there because it's really a grain, but el arroz is what? Rice. Then we have la banana, and la cebolla, onion. Okay. Right, so then we have these guys and these guys. Okay, so keeping with our frutas y verduras, we have fresa, which is what? Strawberry, frijoles, which are beans, judías verdes, which are what? Green beans. Then we have lechuga. What is lechuga? Lettuce. Then we have el maíz, corn. Elote is really corn on the cob, but corn by itself is el maíz. La manzana and la naranja, orange, right? Okay, good. I'm just trying to save them because they were kind of small, so I'm just trying to make them bigger. All right, then we have this guy. And these guys. Okay, we're still with our frutas y verduras, even though one of these I don't know that really falls in that category, but that's just how they had it in your book. El pan is what? Bread. Then we have la papa, potato, el tomate, tomato, and la papa. That's another example. Remember we talk about accents, and I have students all the time not wanting to use their accent marks, but if we put an accent mark on the last A, we would have changed papa to what? Papa, which is your what? Dad. So papa without an accent is potato, and papa with an accent is dad. So that's why it's important. All right, la toronja would be what? Grapefruit. Las uvas, grapes. And la zanahoria, carrot. Good. All right, let me make sure I got them all. Okay. Then we have another group. Now we have los condimentos. Okay, so if these are some of them, and let me put up. What do you think your condimentos are? Your condiments, right? Like the things that you pour on top of your food to give it maybe a little bit more flavor. So things that we have there are el aceite, which can be el aceite de oliva, which is what? Yeah, oil or olive oil specifically. El ajo, garlic, el vinagre. Vinegar, muy bien. Okay. We have this. And these guys. Okay. So what is la salsa? What is la salsa? Yeah, or it basically sauce. That's just it. Salsa is it's like a particular sauce, but if you're talking about like gravy, that's salsa. Okay, so salsa is sauce. Azúcar would be what? Sugar, mantequilla, butter, and la sal y pimienta, salt and pepper. Okay, then we also have las bebidas, which are, what are las bebidas? What are these things? Drinks. So we have el agua. Agua is what? Water, or agua mineral. If you have mineral water, we have cerveza. Beer. We have jugo, juice, leche, milk, and tea. Tea, good. And just a couple more. Oh, one more. Okay, so one more bebida. We have el vino tinto y el vino blanco. What is vino? Wine. This is vino tinto. What kind of wine is it? And then we have vino blanco, which would be what? You got red and you got white. So vino tinto is your red wine and your vino blanco is your white wine. Oh, one more thing. And lastly, probably my favorite part. Are los postres. Oops. What are postres? Desserts, we have el flan, which is what? It's just flan. It's like this custard dessert. Then we have galletas, which are what? Cookies. We have helado, ice cream. You could have helado de vainilla, which would be specifically what kind of ice cream? Vanilla. You could have helado de chocolate, which would be chocolate, or helado de fresa. Then we have pastel. What is a pastel? This thing. What is this guy? What is it? Pie. And again, you could have de manzana, which makes it specifically what? Apple pie, pastel de calabaza, pumpkin pie, pastel de limon, like Esme ordered, lemon pie. Then we have torta, which is cake, and yogurt. Yogurt, yeah. Don't know if I consider yogurt dessert, but we'll take it. Maybe yogurt congelado, but I'm not sure if it would mean the same thing. Like it probably just means like cold yogurt. So I personally would use helado because it's more like helado, right? So I don't know what makes it like frozen yogurt. If it's like maybe helado sin mucho azúcar. I don't know. I'd have to look it up, but I think you'd have to describe like what you're getting. So we'd have to know a little more specifically like what frozen yogurt is. But if it were me, like if I was in a Spanish-speaking country trying to order it, I probably would be using I would probably start with ice cream and try to describe. Oops. Okay. All right, so here, more vocabulary. En un restaurante, si voy a un restaurante nuevo, tengo que ver un menú antes de pedir comida. El menú me explica la comida que se sirve. And if we looked back at that picture, we probably already know because it's the same as it is in English. But if we see this picture, these are menus. What are menus? Menus. Oops, I went too far. Okay, si mi mesero es bueno, yo le dejo de propina más de 20%. What is dejar de propina? Leaving a tip. So if they're good, I'm going to leave them more than 20, right? 20%. El mesero es la persona que te sirve la comida en un restaurante. ¿Quién es el mesero? The waiter, which makes sense because mesa is the table and they come to the tables, right? El mesero. Después de comer, el mesero te trae la cuenta. La cuenta te explica cuánto dinero debes al restaurante por tu comida. So after you eat, you get the what? The check, la cuenta. La especialidad de la casa es el plato mejor hecho y mejor conocido por el cocinero del restaurante. So what's la especialidad de la casa? Yeah, it's like they're saying it's the food that is, or the dish that's most, that is best made and best known by for that restaurant. Otras expresiones, antes de comer es buena forma de decirles a todos buen provecho. So if you're sitting down to eat, you might say buen provecho, like we say bon appetit. El mesero le pregunta, ¿desea algo de tomar o comer? So if the waiter comes over, he goes, ¿desea algo de tomar o comer? He's asking what? Yeah, would you like to drink or eat something? And then you respond, sí, deseo tomar un refresco y una ensalada. So you'd say, sí, deseo tomar. So if you're ordering, you can say deseo tomar and list what you want to order. Un mesero te trae la comida enseguida o no tarda en traerte tu comida. So like if you're, especially like at lunchtime, if you work somewhere, you only have like an hour. So the waiters, if they're good, they know this, they need to bring you the food enseguida. They have to bring it when? Like if you've only got an hour, can you sit, if you've only got an hour, and they know this usually at lunchtime that business people are coming in, they know they have only 1 hour. Can you sit there and wait for 2 hours to get your food? They got to bring it to you enseguida. They got to bring it to you when? Yeah, right away, enseguida. Or it's the same thing if you go to a restaurante de comida rápida like McDonald's or Burger King. That's the whole point. Tú deseas la comida enseguida, right? That's why you went to one of those restaurants. You want it right away. ¿Qué te apetece? ¿De qué tienes ganas de comer? ¿Qué deseas comer? So, ¿qué te apetece is like what appeals to you? Like what food appeals to you? So you might be with your friends and ask them, ¿qué te apetece? Or the waiter might ask you too while he's taking your order, ¿qué te apetece? Like what appeals to you? Like what do you want? Saqué las galletas de chocolate del horno, pero no las puedo comer ya. Todavía están muy calientes. So if they just came out of the oven, you would describe them as being what? Hot. La salsa es muy picante. Debes comerla. Después de comerla, me arde la boca y tengo ganas de tomar mucha agua. If after you eat something, you feel like you're like this, and you want to drink a lot of water, the food is very what? Spicy, picante. So remember, we say hot for spicy but they only, caliente is hot to touch, like burns your fingers. Picante is spicy. Verbos. A mis hijos, this is old, but a mis hijos les gusta cenar en Moe's los martes porque a las 6 de la noche viene de visita un mago. So a long time ago, there used to be like a musician that would come on Tuesdays at night. So my kids would like to what at Moe's? Or they used to like to what? Eat what specifically? Dinner. So they actually have a verb for that. Like we always say eat dinner. So we have the verb to eat, and then we just use like dinner, breakfast, and lunch as an adjective. They have verbs for those. So cenar is literally to eat dinner. Si mi mesero es bueno, we already did propina. Si mis hijos no están en casa, mi esposo y yo salimos a desayunar en Biscuitville. So if my kids aren't home, my husband and I will go what at Biscuitville? Eat breakfast. That's also, remember, desayuno is breakfast. Desayunar is to eat breakfast. They actually have a verb for each meal. Almorzar, cenar, desayunar. Al principio de la clase, yo les digo buenos días. I what? Good morning. Say. For you guys, it would be buenas tardes. Okay, so variaciones, names for foods and eating customs vary considerably. In many places, a sandwich, so like you saw bocadillo sandwich, like in Spain, a bocadillo was like one of those big baguette sandwiches, and the kind of sandwiches that we're used to eating here is un sandwich. And they would eat like a bocadillo, one that's like this big is a meal, but the sandwich like that would be considered a snack, and they ate it a lot for like their big meal was lunch. So for dinner, they might eat like a little sandwich. But they're saying here, a sandwich can be un paredado in Chile. So if you go to Chile, they might call it that. No, I'm sorry. Some places they call it un emparedado, and in Chile they call it a sanguiche. So if you go to Chile and some other Spanish-speaking countries, you may not hear bocadillo sandwich. In Mexico and Spain, un sandwich is on sliced white bread. Most people in Mexico prefer una torta. So they say torta, you know, was cake, but if you go to Mexico, if it's on a roll like this, they'll call that a torta also. Whereas in Spain, they prefer bocadillo on a baguette, like I was just telling you. And they'll even do, has anyone ever had like tortilla española? Okay, so tortilla española, I feel like in some class, anyway, maybe I didn't ever show you guys. It's like so when you go to like, when you hear tortilla, you guys are thinking like flour tortilla, corn tortilla. If you go to Spain, tortilla is like an egg omelet. It's like this big or what, and it's with eggs and potatoes and onions, and it's made in olive oil. When I was in Spain, they'll even like cut that up and put it on a baguette for a sandwich if like you can't be home for lunch. I mean, they really like, you can eat a lot for lunch. All right, so la banana has many variations. In Chile, Peru, Mexico, Cuba, and Spain, they call the banana a plátano. I lived in Honduras. In Honduras, a plátano is the plantain. So some countries, they'll refer, when they say plátano, they're talking about a banana. In others, it's going to be the plantain. So be careful. In Colombia, and Costa Rica, Nicaragua, they call the banana el banano. And in Venezuela, el cambur. And in the Dominican Republic and Puerto Rico, they're calling it el guineo. In Honduras, they call it a minimo. So it just varies from, and like Honduras, they had tons and tons of bananas. Like it very stuff you probably wouldn't even see here. So anyway, if you go to a country where they produce bananas, there may be lots of names for them. El mesero varies by country or region too. Garzón in Chile, mozo, moza in Argentina, camarero, camarera in Spain. So there's a bunch of different names for a waiter as well. I just want to make this a little bigger. Okay, so cultura en vivo in Chile, el desayuno is a light meal with bread, coffee, or tea. El almuerzo is the main meal, and that's the same like in Spain also, with typical dishes such as una cazuela, stew, pescado, carne, una ensalada a la chilena. In the afternoon, la merienda is called la once and consists of bread, a sandwich, or empanada, or café, té. La cena is a lighter version of el almuerzo and is served at 8 p.m. or later. So I would say like obviously I haven't traveled everywhere, but like Spain is kind of similar to that. Your breakfast, when I was there, we ate like a baguette, but it was like part of a baguette and you put like jam and you had like hot chocolate or coffee. And then in the afternoon, you had your main meal, which could be like what we would consider dinner here, like a big meal. And then I don't remember necessarily having snack, but dinner was probably around 8 p.m. and it would be like what we would consider lunch, like a little sandwich, maybe some yogurt. Your big meal was lunch. And then everybody was so full, they would take like a siesta. I'm trying to see. All right, we'll skip over. But that was just kind of mentioning some additional foods you might find, like plátanos verdes. Like when I lived in Honduras, they didn't make, now I forget what they were called, but that would be, they would do the green bananas, like real green ones, and fry them up, and that would be a meal. But there's also fried plantains, which taste very different. Yuca it's kind of like a potato, but not exactly like a potato, but fried yuca is really good too. Okay, so here, ¿qué es? Selecciona la opción que mejor corresponde a cada descripción. So here we've got, I might move these. Okay, so here are our word choices over here in blue. Okay, and here are our definitions of our fruits and vegetables. Match the food with its description. So here it says, es una fruta amarilla y larga. So out of your choices, jamón, tomate, banana, torta de chocolate, uva, arroz, what would you consider una fruta amarilla y larga? La banana. So then you would just put, you could put the letter or the word la banana here. So go ahead and finish the rest of them and we'll check. Okay, so let's go ahead and check this one. All right, so es un grano blanco que acompaña los frijoles. What would that be? El arroz es una carne rosada. El jamón es un postre con muchas calorías. That would be what? La torta de chocolate es rojo y se usa en la salsa picante. El tomate y es una fruta de la que se hace el vino. La uva, muy bien. Okay, whoops. So check your answers. Okay, so if we were looking here, we can just do this really quickly and then I'll let you go. La torta de chocolate goes with which picture? They're numbered. This is number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Which picture is showing la torta de chocolate? 7. El queso. Which one of these is showing queso? 6. El maíz. Which one's showing maíz? 5. La lechuga, el tomate y la cebolla is which picture? 3. El vino blanco y el vino tinto. 1. El helado de vainilla y de chocolate. 8. El pescado. 4. And el pan. 2. Okay, so check. And then I'm going to go ahead and stop. Does anyone have questions? Okay, then I'm going to stop. And I will just see you guys on Wednesday. We'll finish the rest of Chapter 6's vocabulary, and good luck. Are most of you taking your tests tomorrow? Okay, good luck on the ACT. And I will see you Wednesday. Don't be too worn out Wednesday.